Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are going to pull back the curtain on one of the most important economic signals in Mexico, the S&P/BMV IPC. And trust me, by the end of this, you're not just going to know what this stock index is. You'll know how to read its moves like a seasoned pro. So, let's start with the most fundamental question of all, right? What is a huge public company actually worth at this very second? Well, the answer to that question is exactly why stock exchanges were invented in the first place. They are the absolute heart of modern finance.
Okay, so what does a stock exchange really do? It's way more than just a chaotic place with flashing numbers. It's a highly organized market that actually performs three, and only three, absolutely critical jobs for the entire economy.
And here they are. First up, price discovery. This is the big one. It's a giant real-time voting machine that tells us what millions of investors think a company is worth. Second, you've got liquidity. This just means you can buy or sell your shares almost instantly without causing a huge price crash. It keeps the market running smoothly. And third, capital formation. This is where companies go to raise the cash they need to expand, to build new factories, and to hire more people. It's the engine of economic growth.
All right, so we get the why of the stock exchange, but what about the how? How do all those millions of buy and sell orders actually find each other and make a trade happen? Let's pop the hood and look at the actual mechanics of the market.
What you're looking at here is the fundamental conversation that's happening in any market for anything. On one side, you have the bid. That's the highest price any buyer out there is willing to pay right now. And on the other side, you have the ask, the lowest price any seller is willing to accept. That little gap in between the two, that's called the spread, and that's where all the action is.
So if you want to jump into that action, you have a few ways to do it. The first and simplest is a market order. Think of this as the just get it done button. You're telling your broker, I don't care about the exact penny, just buy me those shares right now at the best price you can find. It's all about speed.
But what if you care more about the price than the speed? Well, then you use a limit order. This puts you in control. You're basically saying, hey, I only want to buy this stock if it hits my target price or goes even lower. Now, your order might never get filled if the price doesn't drop, but you guarantee you won't overpay. This is the tool for the patient investor.
And finally, you've got your defensive move, the stop loss. This is like your personal financial bodyguard. It's an order that just sits there, dormant, until a stock price falls to a level you've preset. The moment it hits that price, bam! It automatically turns into a market order to sell, protecting you from any further losses. So you see, 3 different tools for 3 very different strategies.
Okay, but with literally thousands of different companies trading every single second, trying to track each one to see how the market is doing, well, it would be completely impossible. We need a much simpler way to get a quick snapshot of the market's overall health.
And that's exactly what an index is for. The key idea here is to think of an index as the thermometer for the stock market. It takes a carefully selected basket of important stocks and combines all their movements into one single number that's super easy to follow.
Which brings us, finally, to the main event, Mexico's flagship index. This is the big one, the one you hear about on the news every night that sums up the entire story of the country's largest and most important public companies.
The S&P/BMV IPC is designed to be that exact thermometer for Mexico. So let's break that down. BMV is the Bolsa Mexicana de Valores, the Mexican Stock Exchange, and IPC stands for Índice de Precios y Cotizaciones. Basically, it tracks the corporate heavyweights of Mexico, giving us a really powerful, at-a-glance picture of how investors are feeling about the economy.
So on any given day, you might flip on the TV and see a number just like this one flashing on the screen. The IPC is at 69,735. It's up, it's down, but what in the world is that number actually telling us?
It is definitely not just some random figure. That single number is packed with information. It's a story about investor confidence, about how healthy companies are, and what people expect for the future. And to really understand that story, we need to learn how to ask the right questions.
This is the part where we make the leap from just being someone who sees the number to someone who actually understands it. It's all about moving past the headline and digging into the forces that are really pushing the market around.
When the pros see the IPC make a big move, their brains immediately jump to these 3 questions. First, what's the main driver? Are companies making more money, which is great, or is this just the market reacting to a change in interest rates from the central bank? Second, where is the momentum coming from?
Is it a purely local story about Mexico's economy doing well, or is it just global investors feeling risky and throwing money at all emerging markets? And third, and this is so important, how healthy is the rally? Is the whole market moving up together, or are just one or two giants like America Mobile or Walmex doing all the heavy lifting and dragging the index up with them?
You see, answering those questions, that's the whole game right there. It's the difference between knowing what the market did today and truly understanding why it did it. This is the fundamental skill of financial analysis, and it gives you such a deeper insight into everything that's going on.
So I'll leave you with this. The next time you see the S&P/BMV IPC, or any stock index for that matter, make a big move. Just pause for a second. Instead of just seeing the number, what's going to be the first question you ask to uncover the real story hiding behind it?